I enter the state of flow. It means that I synchronize the speed of my thoughts with my speech. It is a specific kind of a consciousness which eventually will change me as a person when I will reach a breakthrough. Today is the day 3 from my first 90 days set goal of doing this, practicing daily. The idea of this practice is that I speak in the form of one endless sentence. This way I train my brain to be articulate, thoughtful, and effective as a speaker. It is my ultimate goal to become an effective speaker and to gather people around me. This task that I set in front of me, I mean doing these sessions daily, appeared to be much harder than I thought it would be at the beginning. Maybe it looks weird when the person just sits and slowly, awkwardly speaks on camera, but it requires a lot of mental resources and concentration. Especially it's hard to push yourself to speak as if it would someone in front of me, like a real person, since it is how the state of flow work. You kind of put yourself in a condition as you would speak to someone, but very thoroughly. In the last video, I promised to speak about motivation in this one, because you definitely need to have a lot of motivation to change your life or build something greater than you. The thing is that motivation understood by society by as it is something you can consume. I mean by this that motivation is a buzzword. Too many people use it to anything, to promote themselves in social networks or to sell something. Just it is a cool topic to speak about. Though when I say motivation, I don't mean the impulsive desire to do something, impulsive stimulus to do something. This is what most people understand as motivation. It's like there is something which is needed to be done and you feel craving or urgent impulse to start doing this. And when you do this, you feel excited, you enjoy the process, and it kinda feels in a fun way, like you're doing some fun. Most people treat that this is motivation and this is how life should be look like. Everything that you have to do, you'll just ignite with this feeling and you do this stuff. However, life is simply not works like this. This impulse, short-time motivation, is a dopamine urge. It is impulsive thing, very close to drugs and addictive behavior. It's not sustainable. It was designed by nature to push people to perform short-time activities, maybe repeatable, but short-time and mostly novel activities. However, most of meaningful things that really will make the difference in life, they require a long time to put in. A tenacious, arduous, sometimes boring work. Even if we don't speak about is it fun or not, just to build a house, you need a lot of days and you need to perform a lot of actions. If you want to learn a skill to play guitar, you have to learn many hours. You cannot accomplish it in one day. So, motivation is not about doing something for a long-lasting period of time. It's about doing one lesson. Unfortunately, people misunderstood the work of motivation and put the weight of repeatable tasks on it. And people suffer because of this. When you expect that motivation will fuel your progress in the long run, you trying to escape the weight of making yourself doing something boring. I will say it simpler. You expect it always to be fun because you don't have mental power to force yourself. It's like, of course, it would be much easier to do anything in your life if you just want to do it. And kinda time feels fun and exciting each time. But reality, it is objective reality that whatever you do, the motivation will not fuel you constantly. It's just built not for that. And when you inevitably face days when you are not motivated, you are very frustrated because you expected that you will be hyped up, you will feel urgency, cravings, oh, I'll do this thing and it's gonna be fun. When you don't feel this feeling, you frustrated even more because you expected to have this feeling and you eventually don't do the stuff. This is the problem of motivation, to be short. You ignite fast, you do something a few times, then the feeling of novelty disappears, you feel frustrated, you don't have mental power and ability to overcome first hurdles, you can't push yourself, and you fail. And okay if you just fail. Fuck with fail. Fail is okay. Fail is it's even good to fail. The problem is that you not only fail, you are not learning to overcome fails, because this is where the progress comes. Whatever you do, you will fail first time many times. It's totally normal. It's like you build the plane. You make a first model. This shit will not fly, never. It will never fly from the first time. You build it, you launch it, it crashed, you tune up something, changed. That was failed, yeah? When you launched your plane model first time, you launch it, you expected it fly, of course it will not, it will break, and this is fail. And when you expect to have motivation to start rebuilding this plane, it will not work this way. So if you stop after this fail, eventually you truly fail. But if you will redo something in your plane, rebuild it, change its wings, tune up the motor, and you will launch it again, it will fail again. It's totally normal. It will fall, it will break apart. It's okay. Do it at the third time. At the third time the plane might be okay, but on the way to the road you will break your leg and you will not launch it. It's also okay. It's also fail, but it's also how things happen. And maybe on 107 attempt you will finally launch your 107 version of plane, and this shit will fly. Very bad, obviously, like a stone, like a brick, but it will fly. It will make a progress. So this is how the progress is built. You have to overcome fails and treat fails as a step toward your success. And if you will put the burden of pushing yourself on motivation, you will fail again, because motivation is not built for that. Motivation is about your first launch. It's not about going to the second and the third one. And this is what happens with me right now. When I set a goal for myself to put myself in this conversational state, of course I was motivated by the idea of novelty of what I do. The whole situation is quite novel for me and exciting. You set the camera, you talk to it, you don't know how the thing with YouTube works. Yeah, either you'll get views, obviously you will not get views, but you know, you're still curious how it goes. Anyways, a lot of novelty in this process. But because the process is hard, the novelty goes out very fast. You face the situation when time to make the shit real comes, you just don't feel it. And this is totally normal. Now this is exactly what I faced even today. It is just day 3 or 4. Sorry, it is day 4. And I already feel that I'm not in the mood to put this camera and so on. However, I know how to overcome it, because motivation is not something what I need to do things. First, I don't expect motivation at all, that it will. I don't expect that motivation will be with me during all the way. I don't care of the motivation, but I still have some sort of motivation, which I call the burning desire. It is something deeper. It is burning desire is like, it's something about purpose and visionary. So I envision myself at some day gathering the full stadium of people and talking to them, and they're like, "Hey Nick," and they are on the one page with me, on the one wave. This is my North Star desire. It's quite far away, distant, and I don't expect it to happen tomorrow. It doesn't ignite me every day, since the desire is too far. But at the same time, it gives me the sense of direction, purpose, and understanding that I have to do something many days in a row, even when I don't feel it, where even if I don't if I suspect something weird, if the process might go wrong, I still have a distant goal which alleviates me from having daily motivation. And this is it for today. My message was that if you want to achieve great and big things in your life, don't wait for motivation, don't expect it to fuel your progress, and just don't put this expectation on motivation. Instead, set yourself a clear as you can visualizable goal, which is distant like a North Star, and move to it. It will give you just enough stable level of energy, or something like a push from behind, from your back, that will softly, slightly push you through all the days when you don't feel, when you don't like, when you're tired, and eventually only this can bring lasting, meaningful changes which are really meaningful, like relationships, like growing as a person, building connections, developing business, simply building the reality around yourself. Either you live in a bad, gloomy apartment, or you live in a huge house on the ocean. It depends exclusively on how you were able to sustain focus in the long run and get back to things again and again, even when you don't feel so.